that time, y'all. That oil show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to That Oil Show. And we have back with us our guest, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for being here. We're so glad to have you. And today's topic is babies and children.
My favorite topic.
Yes, using our oils and our supplements with our babies and children. And Michelle, how many kiddos do you have?
5 boys.
5
Easy.
boys. Now, you've had some... Well, we say oily. For those of y'all new to Young Living, it's like, why does people say oily kids, oily pregnancies? Well, that means we've used our Young Living essential oils and products during those seasons. And so I had some oily pregnancies and babies, and
I had 2 oily pregnancies, 3 completely oily babies.
Yeah.
My middle one is the one I always say, he's the one. He's the one who got us oily.
Really? So what's the story?
Well, we had already been changing our lifestyle a little bit because we had so much chronic disease in our family. So we started to clean up things. We were doing like vinegar and water for cleaning. My mom was like, this is crazy. The world has advanced since vinegar and water. But then we realized like those things are not good for you.
Right.
So I had my middle child, he had skin issues from cloth diapering or from diapering. And so a friend said, you should really try lavender, and there's a girl in your town. And that's how I met my upline, Heather Brock, which was wild because we actually had met during my pregnancy. She sold me the cloth diaper from Craigslist. So he's the reason, I always say, like, he's the reason I thank him every day.
Yeah.
For changing our life.
So wonderful. I know for myself, having 4 kids, my first 3 pregnancies, labor, delivery, all of that was very different than the 4th one when I was much healthier, eating healthier foods and incorporating the oils, the Young Living oils, and of course Ningxia Red, which is phenomenal for pregnancy, and labor and delivery and all the after. Like it was night and day difference, better.
Absolutely.
That's so much better. So a question that we get a lot, all of us get, is like, can we use these products for our babies and children? And if you see the product sitting in front here, the answer is a resounding yes. We have lots of products. From the oils, we have our KidSense line of essential oils that are already pre-diluted in roller bottles. Some of them don't have the rollers, but you can just pop a roller top on. But can the children and babies use the other oils too? The answer is yes. When I got in Young Living, we didn't have the KidSense line, but it doesn't matter. It's the same oils. You can just take your oils and add your own V6 or your own organic olive oil or coconut oil. But what are some of the ways that you all have enjoyed using them for your babies and children?
Can I say that I used to be like, well, let me just say, I was not a label reader at all. And I did not know, other than the packaging is cute. But I didn't really understand what was going on my children. And now there's tons of studies out there. I mean, just Google it. And there's a ton of studies on not only products, but like what the baby has, even from the umbilical cord into the mama. And so coming out to an environment that is even more or less sterile, when you put these products on your babies, and I'm not going to mention any brand names, but some of the leading brand names that say it's healthy, it is organic, it is clean, and like you look at the back and that is not the truth. And I did not know that. So, like the bold things that say like natural or even skin sensitive, for skin that is sensitive, that's those big bold letters on the packaging that I was reading. That's all I did was just read those bold letters, and not the fine print on the back. Okay. So now that and when I started, I looked at the back and I said, even in some of the baby oils that you put all over their skin right after a bath, And I'm like, this is soaked into your skin. Again, skin is the largest organ in your body. This is soaking into my baby. And he is this little, like, and his liver is this little, and, you know, his kidneys are this little. So, man, and first I had to get rid of the mom guilt. But after that, I was so thankful to a company that literally had healthy products with no chemicals, no harsh anything. And then I started to dump things that I knew weren't right. And then I started telling other people about that, because I'm like, man, look at these products. And now there's studies about the products that I used to use. The public knows now. Yeah. So I'm
that
like,
they were harmful.
They were harmful.
In some way.
There's like recalls and all these things. And I'm like, wow.
Yes.
And just other countries having the same products that we do, like commercial products, that don't have the ingredients that we have here in the USA. That blows my mind that it's a cleaner product in another country and that we allow so much more here and we trust it, you know.
Yep.
So we have to be informed consumers.
Absolutely.
We
Very
have
informed.
to educate ourselves. I know at the beginning, when I got in Young Living in 2006, they didn't have all of these kids products and babies products. So I would make my own things, you know, as far as diluting in oil or using something kind of as making my own baby oil. Now they have the seedlings line for baby products.
Fantastic.
Yes.
It's like a cloudy, calm.
is.
I mean,
Gary did amazing with that.
Yes. He did.
I remember seeing the slides at convention where it was like, this is why I put this oil in it, this is why. And we're like, oh my God, that is so mind blowing. Like how soft it smells, like if that even makes sense.
Yes. It really smells like a little baby.
Well, you know, okay, so you know that like baby powder smell that all of us like, oh, baby powder smell.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the new baby powder
Yes.
smell.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
This is so, it smells so good, and it's not overpowering. So even if you put like a ton, like maybe your kid needs a ton of whatever it is on their body, on their skin, it's not going to overpower.
No.
It's amazing. That's my favorite. That is my favorite.
Your favorite.
Y'all have to use that.
Okay, so it's the Calm Blend, and I was just gonna look to see if like some of the oils in here, coriander, bergamot, and ylang-ylang and geranium, and so several other things too. But it just smells like a baby. It does. And of course we have the lotion, which I just got all over my hands right now. But the linen spray, and I mean, you've got the baby wash, all of it, and it's so gentle for sensitive skin. And even as adults, like adults that have really sensitive skin, use the baby line.
Yes.
People love it. And I know you've already shared some stories on another show about the lotion.
Go look
That's
at that
the
show.
lotion.
Yeah, go. Like, she has this whole story.
You know who else this is really good for? Elderly people who have really thin skin.
Yes.
This is a phenomenal lotion for people to use that just have that thin skin.
Also, some classrooms don't allow like real smelly things or whatever. This is not overpowering. So like teachers out there, I know it's summertime, but when we start up in August, you know, being able to like, I don't know if you've ever been on like an airplane or even like in a small place and somebody takes out their like lotion, hand lotion, and you're like,
Right.
that is strong.
Thanks for sharing.
And it's like a chemical.
It is
like,
so
burst
chemical.
of
But
harsh
this is
chemicals.
even more chill than that. So nobody really knows. I think people would just chill out actually if you're in the classroom. Yeah, exactly.
You know, I just saw the baby wipes there, and I was just thinking about this. We were on a trip a few months back. We actually went to corporate to the Young Living Farm in Mona, Utah. This is back in the fall festival, and our oldest daughter Julia and her husband Brandon and our grandbaby was with us and traveled with us, and so Jessie had my grandbaby. She had just the very beginnings of a little bit of a diaper rash, and so Julia didn't have on hand. She thought she had packed the Seedlings diaper rash ointment, which there's two different ones, Tender Tush, and there's two different. Get both of them, try both of them. They're phenomenal. I remember using those with Joshua, who's now 18. Back when he was a baby. It's so amazing. Tender Tush just is amazing, but she didn't have those. And so I said, but you have your wipes. And so just make sure you do a little extra with the seedlings wipes, because when you look at the ingredients, like you were saying, look at the fine print, look at the ingredients, all of those essential oils and those wonderful, just everything that they put in it is very soothing and regenerating to skin. And so sure enough, like the next day I'm like, how's she doing? She's like, oh, she's fine. She's totally good. And it was gone. And so it's like crisis averted.
That's the most amazing part of having oil infused products is that it's not just going to do one thing.
Right.
So we have like multiple uses, and if you think you're using it for one thing, you're actually using it for like 100 other things.
Absolutely.
Because now they have calm, they're calm and their skin is supported and just a ton of other things.
Hey, Wendy.
Yeah.
Why didn't the mummy go on vacation?
I don't know. Why?
Because he was afraid that he would relax and unwind. I'm Talia.
And I'm Wendy.
And this is the Science Highlight. Unwind is a more recent addition to the KidSense line, but it's powerful and gentle magnesium-based supplement specifically formulated for kids to help promote a calm and relaxed state, reduce restlessness, and improve focus and mental clarity at home and in the classroom.
This individually packed natural watermelon flavored powder is sweetened with Reb M, a non-GMO, zero-calorie sweetener derived from rapidly renewable sugarcane, without the aftertaste that a lot of people get from stevia, making it a highly sustainable choice.
Unwind also contains xylitol, which helps to stimulate the immune system, your digestion, and fat metabolism. It's very low glycemic index, and some research suggests that it may also improve dental health, prevent ear infections, and possess antioxidant properties.
Next up is L-theanine. It's an amino acid that benefits mental focus. One study showed that kids that added L-theanine had fewer errors in detailed tasks. It also helps people relax before bedtime so they will fall asleep quicker and sleep harder. It can affect levels of serotonin and dopamine in the brain, which in turn influences mood, sleep, emotions, and cortisol, and helps the body deal with stress. 5-HTP, which stands for, here we go, 5-hydroxytryptophan, is another amino acid that your body naturally produces. Your body uses it to produce serotonin, which is a mood stabilizer. I don't know about you all, but sometimes my kids need a little mood stabilization. 5-HTP has well-documented benefits. Some of these include aiding in weight loss, balanced mood, and combating feelings of sadness, helping to soothe aches and pains, and aiding in the production of melatonin, which is needed for that restful night's sleep. Magnesium citrate is in this amazing list of ingredients and is sometimes called the forgotten electrolyte. Magnesium citrate causes the intestines to release water into the stool. This softens the stool and relieving occasional constipation and irregularity. Magnesium citrate is more gentle than other forms of magnesium, so no tummy aches, and has additional benefits for your bones, muscles, and heart by transporting electrical signals, calcium, and keeping your heart from skipping a beat.
Well, rounding out the list of ingredients is lavender and Roman chamomile essential oils to cement in that zen feeling.
I wish I had Unwind when my kids were younger.
Me too. Although I still make my teens take Unwind, and I might just sneak one of these myself every now and then. The box of 25 doesn't last long in our house. After all, Unwind is safe and effective for kids of all ages. Well, what are you waiting for? Add it to your loyalty order right now.
Hi, I'm Laura,
And I'm Max.
and we're Farm Junkies.
Farm Junkies.
Today, greenhouse junkies.
We are. Right now, we're the greenhouse
We're
junkies.
greenhouse, and we want to show you a little bit about why wouldn't we be a junkie here in this beautiful greenhouse surrounded by all of this magnificent plant foliage. And it is fall right now, so unfortunately, it's not as full as it typically is, but as you can see, we're gonna talk to you about, we have, of course, lavender, because we're at the Mona Whispering Springs Lavender Farm, but we also have German chamomile, goldenrod. You see
Melissa.
Lang Lang over here. You see Melissa. And what's great about it is, from farm to farm, every farm having its own greenhouse allows us to be able to look at seed. Let's take, for example, Lang Lang that grows phenomenally in Ecuador. How does it do in the altitude here in Utah? How does that growing, can we get a bigger yield in different altitudes? How does the plant react in different environments? Yes, some plants are not native to where they're grown. We bring in seed to experiment and see, but some things, you know, apples weren't native to most of the parts of the United States where they grow, and they grow well in Washington State and the Northeast. So when you look at something like a lavender, you can get that lavender seed, take it to different places, and have different variations of it. And so the same thing happening here, Young Living experimenting to see how these plants will grow and adapt, and just make us even that more innovative in the way that we can get oils to every one of you.
And it releases limitations.
It does.
So what would happen if we had an environmental issue somewhere? Can Young Living have a backup plan?
Sure.
Sure. We were thinking all the time of what we can do to, again, keep everything intact and keeping oils for all of us.
Nobody wants to be out of stock of any oils.
That's right.
But we don't go into a laboratory and make them. We have the seed to seal process to guarantee that if we're out of an oil, it's because we have exhausted every measure of getting the highest quality oil that we can. And that's why we're farm junkies.
We are.
Welcome to this segment of Animals Oils, where we hope to empower you to use your oils with your animals. And this segment is on kids and pets. Yes. And this is important because this is where a lot of friction comes in, kids and pets.
Oh,
and
sure.
You get nips and whatever. I don't even like to say it because my dogs don't bite kids. But anyway.
No, her dogs are fantastic. And my grandbabies are a testament to that.
Yes, her grandbabies have put my dogs through the ringer, and they came out with flying colors. But if you're bringing a new baby home,
yes,
how can our essential oils help that transition?
Actually, you can start preparing ahead of time. And one of the things I like to do is mark a moment with a scent. And so you're going to want to wear your dogs out and, drain them of their energy, and then pull out that oil, Gentle Baby. I mean, especially if you're expecting.
It needs to be a new oil, one that you don't use very often. And so Gentle Baby is actually perfect oil,
really
because after the baby comes home, you're going to be wanting to use the Gentle Baby's products. And this is what they smell like. So if you establish it as the calm oil in the beginning, then as you're using it, the dogs have already associated that with calm.
Yes, absolutely.
So I know you already said it, but I am a repeater. I want to reiterate that when you are trying to establish this as a calm oil, you want to wear them out, and they want to be in a calm state, because you're going to seal the state they're in. You don't want to pull this out when they're excited, because now it's the excited oil. We're defeating the purpose. Okay, so that's a great tip. I love that. And
also too, when you bring a new baby home, what you want to do is teach your dog to give distance. And what that equates to in the doggy terms is giving respect to the baby. And so you want to make your baby also a pack leader. All the dogs are behind all the people. So to equip your baby to become the pack leader, it might be hard at first because you want them to meet and like each other. But it will go great if you make that dog give distance for a good long while. So anyway, that's my little tip.
We said pack order a couple of times, so we're going to talk about that. The dogs are at the bottom of the pack order.
Yes.
It goes alpha, which is me in my house. I'm the alpha.
Is the alpha.
I am the ultimate alpha. And then it's the kids, and then it's the pets. That's the order it needs to stay in, and that way there's no, because dogs get nippy when they're uncertain of pack order. And so if you make that certain in the beginning, then you eliminate a lot of that. Yes. What about older kids and pets?
Oh, so if you have a dog that's super excited, one of the things that you can teach your kiddos is to be like a statue, and don't have appendages waving around, and not a lot of just teach them to also, which you can use in oil. Like, we're going to practice being calm around say you're going to a friend's house and there's going to be an excited dog that, you know, you just have to deal with it. Right. So give your kids an oil, have them breathe it, and tell them you're going to go in and be like a statue. And then also you as a parent, the protector, you can step between and step towards. And another action you can teach your kids is to step towards the dog and claim their space.
Yes, because the worst thing you want to do is back up. Because back up means chase me. Step forward means I'm in charge now.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
So those are great tips. Those are great tips. So we want you to go
and be the boss of it.
And of course, we have things like fun kids diffusers and the oils, the Kid Sense oils with the roller balls on the top. It makes the kids feel like it's their oils, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do
We
yours?
used to have to make stuff for them all the time, but like you said, now that this stuff is out, I mean, I always tell this story because I know when somebody's done something to another sibling because I can smell valor. And I'm like, who kicked or hit who where? Because then they're like, put valor on it, put valor on it.
So they're treating each other.
Yeah, they treat each other.
They're like taking care of one another with their oils.
Wall and like, you know, they're like looking hard for something. I'm like, oh, what are you looking for? And it's like, I just can't focus right now, or my stomach hurts. And like, they know, like we didn't grow up that way. And it's really incredible to see like 7 and 8 and even like 4-year-olds. My 2-year-old, we were at bed yesterday at the hotel and he's like putting his feet up like, oil, hello. Like, where's my bedtime oil? Like, so they know what feels good.
They do. And they, you know, whenever there's some people that'll say, oh, that oil doesn't work, that's just a placebo effect. Well, you know, there is no such thing as placebo effect for animals and for babies and children. There's no such thing. So if it works, you know. If it doesn't work, well, it doesn't work.
Say their head doesn't hurt anymore.
Right. They're like, or their tummy's not feeling good. When it feels good, they're off running and playing. You know, if they're like wanting to lay down and it's the middle of the day and acting sluggish or lethargic or whatever, you know something's wrong. And then when you use that oil and they're putting it on and you're teaching them how to roll it on their feet or, you know, rub it on, you know, topically or however you're going to use it. And then you know, give it 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe not even that much. And they're off and running. So you see it, the results that this is working.
And you don't have to have like the right thing for the exact issue. Like sometimes I'm driving and I just, like they're being really loud and I just like grab an oil on my purse. I'm like, here, put this on somebody. And they're like, this? Like, really? Endoflex? I'm like, yeah, just put it on. Isn't this for you and your happy hormones?
No, Endoflex is for everybody. We did cover that last season too. But yeah, then they calm down. So just get your oils and use them. Now we have supplements that not are just for kids because there's some that I take too that I love, especially our Emu-Pro. I'm sorry, Mighty Pro. Mighty Pro. And this is our kids probiotic, and we all have one because it tastes so good. And it's inevitably, I get messages here and there. It's like, is it okay if I take Kid Sense Mighty Pro? You know, and I'm like, yes, it is not just for kids. We can take it too. It's super yum. It's like a pixie stick.
That was
so
exactly
good.
what I told them. And then they're like, what's a pixie stick?
Yeah, because I know. Ethan was like, what's a pixie stick? I'm like,
Nothing you don't want to know.
I'm so glad you don't know what that is.
This is what it is.
This is what it is. It's
And
so
it has
yummy.
a prebiotic and a probiotic, which makes it super easy.
That's right, and it's stevia, and isn't it xylitol that's in there?
Yes.
So it's good for your teeth.
Hello, everyone. And today, what are we making, Talia? Okay, so we are making one of my favorite summer salads. Super easy dump watermelon salad. It's savory and it's sweet and it's refreshing and you will not have leftovers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super simple. So what we have is watermelon, pre-cubed watermelon. You can either, buy your watermelon and cut it up, or you can just buy it, you know, cubed up if you're in a super hurry. What I like to do first, and now I do this right before I serve it because watermelon is, well, lots of water, right? And it'll get soggy. So I don't do this and let it sit. I do it right before I'm gonna serve it. So I actually have fresh mint, and this is just a tiny bit of olive oil with Spearmint Vitality. And it's just enough to give it a little something extra.
Okay, so this totally boosts that mint.
Yes.
I love doing that with our vitality oils. When you have an herb, you use the fresh herb, and then you add in the vitality oil, and it just gives a boost of flavor.
So you can use spearmint, you can use peppermint, you can use really any mint. I've actually also done this with basil. It's very good, so it's kind of make it your own. So I actually just, okay, I know I go a little against the grain. I know you've been told that you should use the toothpick and the swirl. I have like 3 drops in here in this 1 tablespoon of olive oil.
But it's spearmint though.
It is spearmint. It's not
oregano.
It's not a super potent oil. So I actually take this and I just put this over the mint.
Okay, so you put this in here, stirred it up, and then you pour it on the mint.
And then I put it in the mint, and then I actually just kind of, listen, y'all, I'm from the Bayou. We don't really use spoons. So I'm gonna do this over this.
She washed her hands.
Yes,
we both
pre-washed. So I just kind of do this because I don't want the spearmint, I don't want it to all stick to the watermelon. I want it to stick to the mint.
Okay.
And so then I just, this is, you guys, this is to kind of to your taste. It does not have to be any specific amount, whatever you like. And then we do a little bit of red onion. I don't prefer white onion with this. The red onion, number one, looks better, but also it tastes better. If you don't like a lot of onion flavor, just do a little bit, or you could even leave this part out if it's not your flavor. But I encourage you to try it at least once with the onions.
Red onion. Okay.
Yes, and then this is feta cheese, which is delicious. And so I'm just gonna put this in here like this.
Oh my word.
You guys, it's so good.
Amazing.
And so then I'm just gonna mix this. Like, it's really, because if you do it with like a spoon, you're gonna smash up your watermelon.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so you wanna be really gentle with it.
Okay.
And just kind of toss it like this.
I'm glad you did wash your hands with our thieves.
Right? Yes, I said I was gonna use my hands.
Thank you.
So, and like, that's it. This is it. It's done.
So then we've got to try this.
That towel.
Okay, I'll hand you the towel.
Sera's gonna serve for us.
And you know what? I think we can just eat it right out of the bowl.
We could.
Just
Let's see. Look how pretty this is, though. Like,
so
look at all the colors.
Gorgeous.
All the colors are really, really beautiful. It looks super fresh. So
it is. It is. Okay.
I say we just
I gotta get
go
this
for
the
it.
right bite. I want this one.
Okay.
That is so amazing.
Spearmint makes it.
Oh my goodness, the spearmint totally, like it pumps that mint flavor.
I mean, just with those couple little drops and that 1 tablespoon of oil, it is very,
and
very.
I can still taste the feta. I can still taste the onion, and it's just a little bit of onion.
Yes, it's very little.
It's a perfect balance.
And I would say definitely when you do your onion, when you cut your onion, make sure you're slicing it super thin. You could even, if you have one of those like mandolin things.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you're scared to chop it really thin, use that because you want a very, very thin little bite. But yeah,
so good.
Super fast, super quick.
Thank you, Talia.
You're welcome.
It's wonderful.
Does anyone have an early memory of your mom or your dad using Young Living essential oils on you?
Yes.
What about you?
We used to have a garden, and I remember picking peaches, and then I would hold them under my neck, and then like under my chin, and then I got like a really bad rash. So my mom just put Stress Away on it.
Oh, that is awesome. And how old are you?
Probably 5.
Oh, that's so sweet. Anyone else? Were you young, first memories? Yes, Abby?
Is actually when my mom found oils was when I was probably like, I was really young, but I had really bad lung problems, like bronchitis and all that. So medicine wasn't working It wasn't working, so she started using RC a lot.
Okay.
And that became my dad's favorite oil too.
Oh, that is so sweet that she did that for you. And okay, so let me just say, I've known Abby for a while. I don't know that. I know her when she was going through this, and it is such a blessing to see you healthy and breathing well.
Earliest that I can remember is I was an oily baby, so my mom was rubbing oils on me before I was even in the actual world. But the earliest I can remember is one day I like broke out in hives. I don't know what happened, but as soon as it happened, she began to rub the raindrop and purification and lavender and just kind of like doused myself in oils. It kind of smelled like a pizza. Like everything was all over. But it cleared up like the next day. And
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had pizza for lunch the next
day.
Yeah. Let me just say, that's the same thing that happened to me. I was like, I kind of feel like pizza after a raindrop. It was amazing. Okay, so other question, supplements. Do you remember you as kids, your mom or dad giving you supplements? And maybe it wasn't the best tasting, but you downed it and you're better for it today.
Super C.
Super C.
I loved the kids Mighty Vites.
Oh, you love it. Okay.
The Mighty Pro.
You love them.
I would sneak some.
Do you still sneak some? Please be honest. No? You don't sneak bags? Let me just say, those are delicious, and anybody can describe the flavor. What is the flavor of a Mighty?
Like a pixie stick.
It is like a pixie stick with a little bit of citrus. I don't know if y'all get citrus from it. Yeah? Anybody else, supplements that y'all had?
The Emmy Pro, I think it's the Emmy Pro. And then Super C also.
Okay, Super C. Did you like those, or were those not the best?
Not at the time.
Not at the time, but now you love it.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
It's tolerable.
Yes.
Okay, good. Anybody else?
My mom used to also make me have MindWise.
Yes.
And I hated the taste of MindWise. I still hate the taste. It's not my favorite. I take it because I have to, but you know.
It does have those like oils, the fish oils, the fatty, you know, which is great for your brain. So thank God you can take that. And you can always mix it, right?
I mix my MindWise with Ningxia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just chug it. Hey everyone, thank you for joining us again for Big Spank for Your Buck. We are here with Talia. My name's Amanda.
And we're talking about kind of the most basic products that you might need if you find yourself in a situation that you did not plan for. Like
camping in the backyard.
Maybe your husband took you camping and you were not ready.
Tent camping.
This is not glamping, people. Or maybe you have lived through something that you really didn't plan for, like a hurricane.
Right.
Or a freeze.
Right, even a freeze, and lost your electricity and even your water. So, yeah.
Yes. So recently, we went through a pretty devastating hurricane in our town, and so we were out of electricity and water for a while. And so these are some of the things that we did, and some of the things you can have on hand for if you find yourself in a situation where maybe you don't have a lot of water or something like that. So one of the most probably unexpected things that we used were the Seedlings baby wipes, and not for the reasons you might think. We did not use them in the restroom. We actually bathed with these.
Wow.
And a little bit of Thieves soap. Actually, I don't know, we don't have it here, but we had the hand soap. And we actually only had kind of, we didn't have any running water, but we had like bottled water.
Yes.
And so we would actually take the baby wipes, because they're actually really soft, and wet them so they're a little bit more wet.
They're also very sturdy.
Yes, they're very sturdy. So they're a little bit more saturated, and we would actually put a pump of Thieves soap and use that to bathe. And I'm telling you, works way better than you think it works. I would never have expected that would be something that I would have had to do, but it works really well. So I could see that working very well for, you can put some of these in a Ziploc bag and take them on a camping trip, or take them, out with you, in your car. Put them in your car, in your glove box.
I always have something in my car.
Yes. So that was good for that. A couple other things that we also have that we keep in our house is also obviously the Thieves the Thieves wipes, and then the Thieves hand sanitizing wipes. They are different.
Yes, they are.
I don't recommend bathing with these.
No, you will get a spicy tingle wherever you bathe.
Yes, which is not always comfortable,
right.
Especially maybe for kids.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what the Seedlings wipes are for. But this, I will say, if you can't wash your hands and you can't, you're just in in a car. Kids spill.
Yeah, in a dirty bathroom. Like a public dirty bathroom. These are perfect for
they're great.
Wiping down everything.
Absolutely. Okay, so some of the other things that we definitely used, sunscreen, lots of sunscreen.
Yes.
We were out in the elements picking up, debris and branches and shingles, and so the sunscreen was a huge blessing. And if you forgot your sunscreen, make sure you have the Lavaderm after sun spray because a lot of times we didn't stop to put sunscreen on. Yeah. So this one was really great. The after sun spray was really great. And if you don't have,
I was gonna say, any type of cuts or things like that. I know whenever we're roughing it, sometimes we get unexpected cuts. Great soother for those types of things.
First aid spray, bug spray. Yep. Not bug spray as in to prevent bugs, but bugs as in bites. If you get bites.
Yeah.
Also, this Lavaderm, the regular cooling mist, is excellent when you don't have air conditioning. If you're hot, maybe it's not so good for a freeze. But if you're hot and you don't have air conditioning, you can use this. You can even add maybe even a couple drops of peppermint. I think it has peppermint in it already.
Wow.
But you can even add a couple more drops, and this really keeps you cool in the hot.
That's perfect.
Bug spray. After hurricane
in
the bayous, let me tell you,
all
the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
All the mosquitoes. So we love the bug spray, what do they call it? Insect repellent comes in 2 forms.
Yes.
This is actually not how it comes anymore. It has a pump.
It has a pump, yep.
But we really love these little sachets. We send these with our kids to summer camp.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Yeah.
And my kids always get complimented because they actually smell good. Yes. And it's not like, it doesn't make you choke when you put it on.
Right.
It's not damaging your lungs while keeping the mosquitoes away. So these are really great.
Perfect.
Of course, hand sanitizer and spray for your hands because again, if you can't wash them and you want to clean them, you want to keep them clean.
Right.
And then the 3 oils I would suggest, Thieves, Purification, and Owie oil.
Yep.
Because you're definitely going to want to cleanse things. You're definitely going to want to purify the air. And like, if you don't have electricity, you might not have a diffuser, but you can definitely put your oils on a cotton ball or even a washclough.
Exactly.
And leave them in the areas of your home because the air is not circulating, right?
Yes.
So try to keep that.
Exactly. And if there's some type of airflow through your windows, putting something like that right in your windows so that you're, again, that air is bringing that peppermint or that purification in.
And you're bound to get owies.
You're bound to get owies.
So owie oil is great for that too.
Definitely.
And mints in case you have to talk to your neighbors.
Or in case you need to do CPR on somebody.
Oh, I've done that too.
She has.
I didn't pop a mint first.
You didn't.
I didn't.
But that's okay. We can do it at the end.
You might want one after.
Exactly.
So these are just a few things that we found helpful. We would love to hear that if you have found something helpful for you, we'd love to add this to the list. So drop a comment and send us your suggestions for things that you can't, you'd like to bring camping or you've used in a situation that you've been in before.
That's a great idea.
All right, see y'all next time.
It's our favorite part of the show, Dumb Stuff with Oils. And today, Beverly's going to share her story.
You're in the hot seat. I'm in the hot seat today. So my story is kind of 2 in 1. So it has to do with kids and oils. And so my very first time I ever raindropped a 2-year-old.
A wiggle worm?
A wiggle worm. So we actually got him to sit still, and I was feeling so good about it. It took a while. It took a while to get him to come and sit still, but he was sitting still. I was spider flexing his feet. He was just laughing at it. He thought it was fun. I was like, this is great. This is working out so great. The minute I finished, I did both feet too. The minute I finished, he grabs both of his feet and immediately sticks them right on his face. Like why? Why would you do that? Why would you touch your feet and then immediately touch it was like that quick. And I was like, no. So, yes, so.
I thought you were going to say he was going to put him in his mouth.
I
thought, which might have been,
and then his mom, yeah. Then his mom's running for the water, which we know is the worst thing to do. Don't put water on a spicy oil; it'll just get spicier. So I was like, no. Where's the olive oil? Where's your B6? Where's your?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we.
Was he crying?
He was.
Oh my
screaming. His face was red. It was just a mess. So, moral of the story is. Put the socks on.
The moral of the story is don't put your feet on your face.
Don't do that.
Drop those babies down.
But yeah, I should have put a sock on the first foot when I was done, and then I could have put a sock on the second foot.
Well, that's a good even teaching tip, even for going forward. If you're gonna raindrop your kids, make sure that you
have socks handy.
Yes,
especially if they're little, because they just they touch their feet and they put it in their face, and it's World War III after that. Then,
when the baby sees you, does he start screaming and crying?
No,
that's good.
No,
okay.
I'm the kid whisperer. But anyway, then, so I did a baby. We had a 2-month-old baby and constipated, and I was like, that's just weird. Why,
Yeah.
And so,
usually it's.
Right.
Around the other.
And so I was like, no, we can do this. So I did the VitaFlex. We have a colon clearing VitaFlex technique, and it's amazing. And so I was doing it. This is going to work. I'm thinking, man, this is going to work perfect. It's going to be great. And so
wait, how old did you say? I'm sorry.
2 to 3 months old.
So little bitty.
Little bitty baby.
Oh my goodness.
Little bitty baby. And so I was like, okay, we'll do the VitaFlex, and I do it 3 times because that's usually it. On the 3rd time.
It worked great,
Mount Vesuvius erupted, because if you know anything about newborns, their stool is actually, like you said earlier, very
almost liquidy.
And so whatever was blocking the problem
my goodness.
was gone, and all of it came out, and it went everywhere. It was everywhere.
Gosh.
It was, and I was like, I mean, me and the mom are like, oh my God, towels, like wipes, what are we doing? And then I stopped and I go, well, that worked.
I think it worked a little too good.
So point 1 is, do your colon clearing VitaFlex.
Yes.
Point 2 is put an extra diaper on first.
I was going to say diaper up.
Make sure you're in an area that's easily cleanable.
So get ready.
Even if you're an adult. Make sure you're in a place that's easily cleanable.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So if you have a dumb stuff with oil story, we want you to email it to us. Just get your phone out, talk about it for 2 minutes or so. Send it to info@thatoilshow.com.
Anybody else with your kids? And kids aren't just the littles too. I know some of y'all have teenagers. Any stories?
I'm an old schooler. Like you said, when I joined, we didn't have these wonderful diluted products, and so I still hardcore just use my oils with my kids, and they grew up that way and they know that. But I do know I get questions from people a lot on well, can I use it on my baby? Can I, a full strength or whatever? And let me just say, first of all, if you have a little one, 2 or under, if you ever question anything, just put it on their feet. The bottoms of their feet is a safe place to put any oil. Great. And you can dilute it if you'd like, but the feet have different skin than the rest of your body, and you aren't going to.
You don't feel spicy on the bottom of your feet.
No, you don't. So I always put it on their feet. The question, because there's a lot of research out there and stuff about peppermint in babies, and the reason that's even an issue, it has nothing to do with the safety of the oil. It has to do with little babies and anything that's strong, and the smell they get, they take a deep breath. Right. So you just avoid that. The oil is completely safe.
Yeah.
But you put it on their feet and put socks on.
Yes.
Or their back. Yeah, so they're not breathing it. But
Yeah, and I always say go low and slow with your oils. And for my kiddos, Joshua was about 18 months old. He was a toddler when we started, and then I got pregnant and then had Ethan. And so, low and slow. So just start with a drop, rub your hands together, rub the bottom of the feet, see how they do. And if you're like, I think I really need some oils on the chest for maybe some respiratory support, put it in your hands, rub them good, add a little bit of coconut oil, and then rub that around. Do it for yourself first, see how you feel. See how, I always did everything to me first, and then, you know, low and slow, and then I did that for them, and I'm like, oh, well, they like this, or this had a great result. And so I just go from there, and then I just, you know, my boys could take things without diluted. I mean, even the girls too. They're grown adults now, but like pretty quick. They're just slapping oils everywhere, you know, and they're like wanting to put things on. I'm like, isn't that spicy for you? And they're like, no. But that's okay. But you start, you know, at a just using common sense. Low and slow is common sense, and then just go from there. And when the kids like an oil, they just run with it. Now, I know you have, when you started, yours were...
My youngest was 11, so I had older kids when we started. And but what you were about to say is when they find the oil they like, they keep at it. So, you know, my 11-year-old is now 26. And so, but his favorite is the, it just went right out of my head, from Muscles, the roll-on. Deep relief. Deep relief. Thank you. That came. So yeah, deep relief. It had to be on the order every single month because he used it and he used a lot. That's his go-to oil for some reason. And so yeah, they get to be their favorites. And you know, my oldest is married now and they're trying to have a baby and she's using all her oils and they're doing their healthy thing. And you know, we learned that from Young Living.
Yes, and I do love to see them grow up and then they leave home, and our two oldest are, you know, grown adults, and they know, they've learned how to be real sensitive to what their body needs. And so they know when there's an oil, there's a supplement, or, you know, they maybe haven't been eating as healthy, but their body's more receptive. There's been clean products in their lives for so long. Now they really are in tune to what, is not so great for my body and what my body's really craving or needing that is something good for me. And it's really cool to see that play out as they get older too. So
one of my favorite things is like changing generations.
Absolutely.
It's super wild. Like when I hear the conversations my kids are having about what they're eating or what they're using, or if we go somewhere, they're like, oh, I forgot my toothpaste and I had to use this toothpaste, but then I really didn't use that much.
That's okay.
But I love it. That's probably one of my favorite things is like knowing that the generations after us are just going to improve and improve and improve.
Be healthier and stronger.
Oh man, one of my favorite stories, my son was online playing with friends and they were talking about how their mothers were making them eat healthy, right? And so they're like one-ing up each other on this conversation. I'm around the corner going, this is an interesting conversation. But then my son finally goes, dude, there are certain brands of water my mom won't let me drink.
You were going to share something?
Oh, I was going to say, so as a massage therapist, but also a birthing coach, I have come across a lot of mamas who need like how to 1, 2, 3 steps.
Yes.
And they're like, especially when they're first time moms, they don't want to just guess at something because, you know, as we're first time moms, we think we're going to guess wrong, you know? Yeah. So let me just say there are some amazing resources. One of which is the
Gentle
Babies book.
Yes, go to growinghealthyhomes.com to get a copy of that. That's all things Young Living products and oils for pregnancy all the way to your children, older children.
Yeah, so I was going to say get something in your hand to kind of guide you along that will take that voice out of your head, hopefully, that says, you're not doing this right, or but doing that, and again, slow and steady. The other one is our EOPR, so it's our Essential Oils Pocket Reference book. You can get that at Life Science Publishing, and those two hand in hand will, you know, if you have something that you're dealing with your family, you can look it up, and then you can look up the oil. And so that's kind of my go-to for people who maybe, you know, us as leaders, we're a phone call away, but it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, although I've had people call me. But those are just those things that you can have ready in hand so you feel more confident as a parent.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good.
It's all good stuff. All right, I think that's it. Just make sure you have your resources and your tools, and get those oils on your kiddos. They're gonna love them, and someday they're gonna be putting oils on you as well. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for watching That Oil Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can catch new episodes every first Tuesday of the month. And if you enjoyed learning about these amazing products and want some of your own, reach out to the person who shared That Oil Show with you.